1979. A mob is destroying the US Embassy in Islamabad, Pakistan. It's snowing outside in the Sahara Desert, and a political drama / coming-of-age tale written by Yoshiyuki Tomino is being adapted into an animated television series called Mobile Suit Gundam. Fast forward 42 years later, and I'm sitting in front of my television watching cyclists ride past a giant mech standing in Odaiba during the Tokyo Olympics. So, let's talk about it. What is Gundam? We'll start with etymology and go from there. The word Gundam itself, in its origin, is still something that's debated. Popular ideas range from that it's an acronym for Generation Unsubdued Nuclear Drive Assault Module, amidst other colorful combinations, or that it ended up being derived from Gunboy, the title of an early draft design when Sunrise began working on the pilot season of Mobile Suit Gundam. In any case, the word, the various anime series, the movies, model industry, and beyond that have all spawned from Gundam have evolved significantly since their inception into a multi-billion-dollar monolith. So, why? Why do people, especially in Japan but around the world, resonate so much with Gundam? Well, besides some of the specific cultural values in Japan and subjective individual biases, there are many facets to Gundam that appeal to a surprisingly wide demographic of human interests. Let's start with face value. We are talking about giant robots with laser swords and huge guns flying around in space, usually piloted by children. Needless to say that kids, ever since 1979, have found Gundam to be pretty neat, if not the fucking coolest thing they've ever seen. Giant robots, though, in Japanese entertainment at least, weren't exactly a novel notion even at the time of Gundam's debut. Since the early 70s, they already had shows like Mazinger Z and the birth of the Super Sentai show with Battle Fever J. These shows had solidified the ideas of the super robot subgenre, establishing giant mechs firmly as an element within fanciful children's shows and comic books, fighting against monsters and aliens. But for Mobile Suit Gundam, while inheriting some of that appeal, would change that preconception drastically by instead opting for a more realistic depiction of warfare, replacing the campy Monster of the Week narratives with a complex political drama steeped in strong anti-war messaging. This shift allowed for Gundam to immediately appeal to a wider audience, stretching into young adults. But despite its positive critical reception, the initial season of Mobile Suit Gundam couldn't find steady viewership, and after 43 episodes, was unceremoniously cancelled. And so, history became legend, legend became myth, and Mobile Suit Gundam passed out of all knowledge, until, when chance came, its toy copyright ensnared a new owner. Clover, a Japanese toy giant who owned the Gundam manufacturing copyright, decided since the series was basically dead, to sell the rights to a company called Bandai. Bandai would proceed to turn around and print money for the next 40 years. Unlike the popular metal die-cast Chokokin toys Clover had been banking on throughout the 70s, Bandai's new Gundam model kits were made of plastic. Coming in 3 different colors, requiring assembly and painting to complete, they offered a completely different type of toy experience than anything else on the market. Plus, they were cheap. People loved them, and not just kids. Reruns of the show were performing well, and thanks to theatrical compilations of the anime, plus the massive toy success, Gundam was off to the races. And so, now that we've laid down some of the groundwork, let's dissect that main question in the thumbnail. Gundam, as it's flourished into a media giant, has found ways to appeal to a myriad of core audiences. For children, the models, or Gunpla as they've become known as, have continually been a strong draw, alongside specific anime series like Gundam Build Divers, which is the most conspicuous capitalization on the Gunpla culture mutated into a television show. Moving up the age bracket to a more shonen or young adult audience, there's plenty of great coming-of-age adventures like in the extremely over-the-top G Gundam, or in one of the most popular Gundam series in Japan, Gundam 00, or in the West's favorite Gundam series, Gundam Wing. For those looking for more political intrigue and deeper, more grounded themes, many of the anime series in the Universal Century timeline, the main Gundam continuity, such as Gundam Zeta or Unicorn, tend to scratch that itch, as well as one of the most recent series, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, highlighting the struggle of child soldiers with a story that plays out almost like a space gangster saga. What I'm sure you might have derived from all of this is that the types of media and stories Gundam has produced over the years is as diverse as any IP could dream of. And I think that's undoubtedly the greatest strength of Gundam as a whole, whether it be from a fascination with model building and the artistry within Gunpla, or from an interest in stories that are formed around the themes of friendship and love, or painfully relevant examinations of war and ethics. Gundam has become this all-enveloping avatar for so many creators to express so many different things. Like the actual Gundam suits themselves, the monolith of Gundam is a vessel that means so many things to so many people. It's a technological ideal, a vehicle for creation, an engine of destruction, and a symbol of hope. Hope is actually what I think of when I think of Gundam. Because my favorite stories in Gundam are the ones that show humanity's capacity for strength and freedom, or as Amuro put it, the light within the human heart. Even villains like Char are profound in what they aspire towards. For his character, fighting for the oppressed Spacenoids, and when he says he wishes to leave the Earth behind because gravity weighs the soul down, his efforts to try and free the people from the corrupt Federation that governs the Earth. In watching that, I'm moved, because I know he's not entirely wrong. He's mostly right. It almost makes me forget he's trying to kill billions of people by sending an asteroid to Earth in Char's counterattack, but the point is that Gundam for me has balanced this surface level fascination with something that not only looks so aesthetically striking, with these incredibly deep and empowering thoughts and ideology. Through all of its melodrama and crazy machinations, it inspires me to believe that within all of us is the potential to aspire towards something beyond. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you couldn't tell already, I absolutely adore Gundam and have been wanting to make something related for a long time, so I hope that was as fun for you as it was for me. As always, if you have any thoughts on the video today, any opinions on Gundam, anything, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Leave a like or subscribe to support the channel, it means a lot to me, but most of all, don't forget to have a good day, have a good life, and I'll see you guys on the next one.